Hello, and welcome to the real last math lesson of the week. Yesterday I goofed up. I said that lesson 312 was the last lesson for the week, but I messed up, and actually this is the last lesson of the week, so you will be doing lesson 13 today. But first, let's start with a number talk, and we're going to work on adding them up. So while you're looking at this, I want you to think of some strategies that you can use to add 44 plus 36. Well, we have been working about and talking about making tens. So I know that if I add the 4 ones and the 6 ones together, I'm going to get a 10. Okay? And I know that this 4 is not 4, it's 40 because it's in the tens place. This 3 is not 3, it's 30. It's in the tens place. So 40 plus 30 is 70 plus the 10 that we made. That means this is going to be 80. Now you might come up with some other strategies that you can use, but when we do our number talks, we really want to see what we can do in our heads, what we can just do by thinking instead of writing it down on paper. And one of the easiest things to do, if we can, is to always try to make a 10 and go from there. Good job. So we're going to do some mental math and fluency. I'm going to show you some of those quick look cards. I want you to take a look at it. Think to yourself, what did I see and how did I see it? So we're going to start with card 137. Take a look. All right, gang, what did you see? Did you see 6? And how did you see it? Did you see the 2 rows of 3? And you know that a couple different ways here. 3 plus 3 is 6. And 2 times 3 is 6. There are 2 rows and 3 in each one. Or did you see it as 2 dots here, 2 here, 2 here? And think 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. Or 2 groups of 3 equals 6. 3 groups of 2. Okay? So there's lots of different ways that you can come up with how did you see it. Here's our next one. Ready? Ooh, what'd you see? And how did you see it? Did you see 9? And how did you see 9? Did you see 3? Oops, come on, pen. 3. Well, does it want to work? Because I'm going to use my mouse. It's not going to be super neat. Did you see 3 plus 3 plus 3? Or did you see the 3? Oh, goodness, I didn't want to do that. The 3 rows. And then if you saw 3 plus 3 plus 3, could you also think of it as 3 rows with 3 in each row and get 9? One more, and hopefully my pen works better on this page. Here we go. Ooh, what did you see and how did you see it? Did you see 12? How did you see 12? Did you happen to see 2 groups of 6 and think, well, 2 groups of 6 is 2 times 6 and that's 12? Or maybe you said to yourself, I see 2 groups of 6, one here and one here, and I know that 6 plus 6 equals 12. Maybe. Okay, we're going to move on. And we're going to talk about our math message today. Go ahead and get your whiteboard marker and eraser. Get those out. And what I want you to think about What is the same about all these problems? 2 plus 12, 7 times 2, 15 minus 1, 24 minus 10, 1 dozen, and 2 more. What is the same about all of these problems? Well, one thing that will help you to determine what's the same is just maybe solving them and writing the answer on your whiteboard. So 2 plus 12, well, that's 14. 7 times 2, 7 groups of 2, well, that's 14. 15 minus 1, well, I know that's 14. 24 minus 10, well, I know that's 14. 1 dozen plus 2 more. What's 1 dozen? What is 1 dozen? 1 dozen is a bakery term. When you are buying a dozen of something, that means you're buying 12 of something. Like if you buy a dozen eggs in that container at the grocery store, there's 12 eggs in there. Or if you go to the bakery at the grocery store and you buy a dozen cookies, you're buying 12. So I know that a dozen is 12. So 12 and 2 more is also going to be 14. So what's the same about all of these problems? They all equal 14. Now I have a task at the bottom of the page. It says, write another problem that belongs with these problems. Well, what could you come up with? What about 10 plus 4? What about 8 plus 6? Now it's said to write another problem, but I can show 14 another way. I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I can show it using tallies. So what we're working on this lesson, we are going to work on something that we call a name collection box. Name collection box. That's what this is. Okay? And it's a collection of things that have to do with 50. Now, how do I know it has to go with 50? Here's the name of the box in the corner. The name of this box is 50. So in that box, there are things that have to do with an answer of 50. 100 divided by 2 is 50. 5 times 10 is 50. 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 is 50. So I can show it in numbers models like that, or I could write it out in words. 1 more than 49 is 50. I could have just written 49 plus 1, but I just wanted to show you this is a way to show 50. 25 plus 25. The word 50 is a way to show 50. And I'm not very good in Spanish, but my guess is that this cincuenta, maybe, is the Spanish word for 50. So the thing about name collection boxes, so we're going to put in problems, words, symbols that are equivalent to the name of the box. And equivalent means equal. What I put in that box or what I keep in that box has to equal the name. So I've got a blank one here that we're going to work on together, and I'm going to name it 18. So my task is to add some names for 18. Well, I'm just going to put in several, and then we're going to talk about them. almost done. And here we go. So I'm going to look at all these that I put in there, and I need to make sure that they are all equivalent or equal. So 9 plus 9. Yep, that's 18. 10 plus 8. Yes, that's 18. 9 plus 2. 9 plus 2. 9 plus 2. Wait, that's only 11. So I'm just in one line. I'm going to cross that off. It doesn't belong. It's not equivalent. I'm going to count my tallies down here. 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yep, that's equivalent. I'm going to keep that. 110 and 6 ones. 110 and 6 ones. No, because 18 would be 110 and 8 ones. So I'm going to cross that off. 9 times 2. 9 times 2. Yeah, that's 18. I'm going to keep that. 3 plus 3 plus 3. Well, 3 plus 3 is 6. Plus 3 more is 9. That's not 18. I'm going to cross that off. And then what I have here, my lovely artwork, here's a 10 stick. So that represents a 10. And the little dots represent my 1. So let's count those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 110 and 8 ones. Yep, that's 18. And 18 times 1 is 18. So when you are doing name collection boxes, anything that's written inside the box has to be equivalent to 18. And if it's not, you just cross it off because it does not belong. Okay? Okay, I'm waiting for my page to turn. It's being pokey. So for your seat work today, for your assignment, it's pretty easy. So it's a kind of a short lesson today. You're going to be working on making some name collection boxes. And this is page 96 in your math journal. Read the directions carefully. It says work with a partner. So if you get stuck, you can ask for some help, but you're going to try really hard to do them yourself. You can put addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division problems in if you want to. So for number 1, the name of the box is 20. You need to come up with at least 10 names. At least. That means 10 is the minimum. You can come up with more if you want to. Now sometimes you have all kinds of names in the box, but the box is not named. So the directions for number 2 says 3 names do not belong in the box. Cross them out. Then write the name of the box on the tag there. So what you should do is go through and just solve the problems. You can go ahead and write the answer above it or beside it. I'll do the first 2 for you. So 10 plus 6 is 16. 10 less than 6 is, 10 less than 26 is 16. Go ahead and solve the rest of them. The ones that you don't think belong, you need to draw a line through them. And then based on the answers for what you have left, that's going to help you decide what name you're going to put in the box. Number 3, it's 24. Write at least 10 names in the box. Now, you could also do pictures. So you could do tallies, or you could, make like a dice if you wanted to, or dots. And number 4, you're going to make up your own box. Give it your own name and your own ideas. You also have math box page 97 to work on. You're going to be making some equal groups, some expanded notation, it looks like there, answering multiplication problems, round, estimate it to the nearest 100, and then solve it for real. You can use some of our strategies and do a picture graph.